Well, hello everybody. Breaking truths, bombshell truths. An amazing day as we head into the middle of February. It's going to get very interesting. There's a lot of things to go through. A lot of things. I know it takes time for people to log on, and I have to hold myself back and let people that opportunity. Hello, I see people are starting to come on. This video, one of a kind. Everybody, look at the U.S. state governors I've tagged in this post. You will be able to verify, as all of they can too, what has happened with the highest court of the United States, that of the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States of America. What's going forward, what Donald Trump failed on, and what Donald Trump failed on, the states themselves have picked up. That's true federalism, constitutional federalism, division of powers enshrined in absolute codified rules of governance, how to govern, and accountability for the federal government and the state level government. I'm going to get into that, but first we're going to go in world bombshell truths, breaking news. Vladimir Putin right now in private talks with Emmanuel Macron. Canadians, many Westerners, including a lot of Americans, don't realize what's actually occurring here. It's energy independence. Now, a narrative of USA taking over a massive market share for the European Union is in all Americans' interest. Absolutely America first. But will they get there? Now, there will be movement. Sure, there can be promises made, but it will be absolutely at the extreme expense of none other than every citizen of the European Union. Not a small population when you look at the grand scale of the world and density measurements. Not good at all. Massive price increases in energy should the EU not deal with Vladimir Putin and go with the United States of America. Everybody, there are 5 allies from World War II. Right now, 2 of those have hit a crossroad. The 2 most powerful in the entire world. That being Russia, that being USA. Russia wants USA to stop any and all expansion of NATO into Europe. Generally all of Europe, absolutely all of the former Soviet countries. Contrary to popular belief, 41% of all energy needs in the European Union entirely come from that of Russia. And it isn't the Green New Deal. Nord Stream 2 pipeline promises to expand energy into the European Union through Germany to make energy cheaper for every European Union citizen. Does that mean Russia holds a lot of cards? Of course they do. Of course they do. There are the Minsk agreements, which Emmanuel Macron and Vladimir Putin are discussing today, and the path forward for the EU. Again, I'm going to tell everybody, whether you like to hear this or not, how the world operates is always told by myself anyway, as it really is. It's not me throwing my support in anyone's camp. It's me telling all Canadians and Americans from the West who choose to follow and listen how the world works, what powers of the United States are out there, and what powers Canada does not have entirely. USA has tremendous powers in this earth. It was given by every nation in the world post-World War II. We all voted for it. Whether everybody likes it or not, we didn't want World War II. There are very, very few alive today to testify to that truth. but it's recorded, it's in history, whether or not your media wants to discuss this. The United Nations Security Council, permanent 5 reps, are the highest authority in this world today, as voted by every nation in the world. We agreed to that. We signed on the UN Charter of 1945, cementing that fact. I've told many, if you haven't read it, go read it, because the world operates this way and this way alone. It is the absolute of international law. When you try to break these kind of binding agreements, you threaten World War III. I don't see that happening for Russia and USA, regardless of all the media hype and buildup, the narratives from all over the world, the Western narrative, which is grossly inaccurate. We're going to get into part 2 of USA, as it really is. That's coming, and that is the big bombshell truth of this video, more so than even Emmanuel Macron. Russia with Vladimir Putin and Chancellor Olaf Scholz and absolutely President Joe Biden. Remember the idea of Governor General and how Governor General was defined exactly the same way as Chancellor of Germany. Now, since World War II, Chancellor of Germany represents the people, we the people of Germany. So Joe Biden doesn't go to President of Germany, he goes to Chancellor of Germany. Just as you would whenever you're talking military, you go to Governor General of Canada. But remember, folks, we remain as Nazi Germany was. Our definition of Governor General is exactly the same definition of Chancellor of Germany as it was in the reign of Adolf Hitler, until Russia and USA imposed a constitution on Germany. If you don't remember that, folks, I have a wall, a song trilogy. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall, where the former Soviet Union and the United States of America divided a nation in absolute imposed constitutionalism. Remember that. Don't lose your history. Russia makes many, many decisions as the Federation of Russia. The biggest one right now, it's the fact that Joe Biden is negotiating with a non-UNSC member inside the European Union, while Vladimir Putin negotiates with the only UNSC highest authority of the European Union. In fact, the European Union used to have UK. We saw Brexit happen. The EU only has Emmanuel Macron representing the European Union in a P5 situation of power. Folks, Germany can't make any decisions for all of the European Union except for cut Nord Stream 2 from Russia to the EU. France isn't going to like that. France can veto Germany as a UNSC P5 member. So can Russia, so can USA, so can China, so can the UK. Those are the only countries capable. And if Vladimir Putin wins Emmanuel Macron, he can sway the entire European Union, including one Germany. Unless we want to see a Germany declare a war, and without any UNSC P5 power, that isn't likely, is not likely at all. So where's Joe Biden sitting right now? Part 2 of the video. So he's negotiating with a non-EU P5 member, Olaf Scholz. Now, sure, maybe he can get Nord Stream cut down. Maybe he can get 41% of all energy cheap delivery to the European Union cancelled away. And maybe he can add a doubling effect of the energy costs for the average EU citizen. But I can promise you, folks, If Emmanuel Macron doesn't like his presidency and unpopularity now, he most certainly won't like it going forward with the USA and the massive cost of shipping liquid natural gas that cannot in any way, shape, or form match anything Russia does for the European Union today. No way, no how, not possible. If you read my paper of the Arctic Silk Road attachment to Russia and both the United States of America that went out to both Republicans and Democrats, you can find a Silk Road presentation through Canada and Russia and USA, a three-way new Silk Road that would eliminate all these issues and allow Russia and USA to be as strong as they want to be in this world. America first, Russia first, everybody's happy. Can be done, folks. It's the way you look at the world. It's the way populism tries to tear all that up and ruin all of you. Which brings me now to the bombshell of all bombshells, the massive growth of republicanism in the United States of America, specifically through federalism and regionalism today. Did you know, Canadians, all Americans, the congressional map boundaries are being changed each and every day going forward? Donald Trump broke the Constitution of the United States of America. He tried to usurp the power of governors. SCOTUS ruled on it. Every American unhappy. Many of the Trump supporters unhappy. Let me update you as thousands of you screamed for my head. The post is there, you can look at it. Thousands of Americans went viral on it. Here is Dave Bjorkman, a Canadian, a third-class Canadian Jane citizen, telling you what has transpired since everything I told you back in 2020 where you all erupted. My works in regionalism have gone on. In fact, they've gone on through SCOTUS, through many of the world academics, many in the United States, including Democrats. Congressional map boundaries enforced by the highest court of the land are now going through. You can look at what's been ordered of the state of Ohio, Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina. It's going on and on and on. Now, Donald Trump lost a lot of his smartest minds when the election went the way it did. He went off the deep end. He went too far. I tried to educate Americans on their own legal system, the checks and balances that protect all of you. And I can say today, as I've tagged all those governors, all of them, SCOTUS is functioning the way it is. More than ever, an exponential growth in Republican boundaries in the Sea of Red is being established regionally. Many of those states will never see a Democrat ever elected again to office in the states themselves in many of the new map boundaries. The fair representation of the people. SCOTUS delivered for you an independent judiciary that not only ruled against Donald Trump, ruled for the people, we the people. You now are going to have four states that people say are turnkey states, that say who's going to be the next president through the electorate. I can tell you all now, those key turn states are now redrawing their map boundaries as ordered by the highest court in the land, constitutionally required to redistribute the Sea of Red, meaning more Republican boundaries, meaning strength of Republicanism as it is, as the regions represent all of the people of state, not one federal size fits all for the G40 cities. This is going to change elections coming forward in the years to come. The legal, righteous path for all those who don't want to share, don't want to understand. This is international law. How America operates internationally, the first half of this video, as Joe Biden's losing, folks. He's losing to Russia. The force of the Green New Deal is not going to move the mountain called the EU. We have Macron, a fellow P5 member, the highest authority in the world, whether people like that or not. Joe Biden's losing on that stage. Putin gets Macron, you get Olaf, with no real authority over the EU. The people are not going to be happy. You're only going to create more conservative voters, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I like the world as it should be, as it was mandated from World War II. Remember, folks, people in large swaths, millions, gave their lives for the altar of freedom. We have a design, a path forward. It is not an NWO. It is not the densely populated cities running all, end all and be all against all communities and citizens of any country or the regional states therein. Federalism is a great, great tool in this world. I wish more countries operated like Russia and USA, but they don't. Some have tried and are trying to get there, but there's an overwhelming corruption. I can tell you all safely today, SCOTUS works. It is the most attractive court system in the entire world, the independent judiciary. Well, it doesn't always work for you on any given day because you fail to understand your highest laws of your country. Know that it works for you, the people, and you, the people alone. Whether you understand that or not, or whether you've been lied to or not, or you believe in false narratives or not, SCOTUS operates as it's absolutely designed. A terrific, terrific example of an independent judiciary and why the USA is so attractive. I like America first. I like the division of powers. I like the rule of law that's predictable, credible, verifiable, and real. You can invest yourself, your financial future in the United States of America because all you have to do is understand the soul of the nation. It operates better than any other nations besides its counterpart, the Russian Federation, that it too is growing stronger and stronger with each passing year because federalism works. Unitarianism has a place only in densely populated island states, not spread out, not super culturally diverse, ethnically diverse, or religiously diverse. That's the truth. Much of narratives of the UN are not honest. It is dictators, those in unitary systems, those in crown customary law situations, old as dirt, like Canada, the original Nazi Germany design, the original highlight of what was wrong with a lot of the world for hundreds of years. It's what USA eradicated in this world. It's what Russia eradicated in this world. I have the new bio on King George VI. Lots of UK scholars are now digging very deep into King George VI. I'm tremendously happy about that. I have a brilliant bio that I'd love to share with all of you. It refrains from getting into too much of the truth, but it goes into his death, where he sat with Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. He didn't make it before he died, and upon his death there was no one trained as well or in such understanding of the crown, at least in the honest narrative, as old King George had. As his health failed, he continued to go. Imagine the strain. He was bombed. He refused to leave the United Kingdom, specifically London, during the bombings. He got bombed multiple times. He suffered major injuries that led to a life for him. Can you just hold on? I'm doing a live here. Can you take that out? We can all hear you. Thank you. Sorry, everybody. So King George VI, his bio's out. It highlights what was lost in this world. It isn't the best. It refrains a lot, but it does touch on what he was completing, what he was doing, why he was a real good soul, good person, what he sacrificed for the world of Commonwealth states, what he absolutely tried to do. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't want to know this. I know. Those of the Commonwealth love to be lied to. They want to be told fictions. They don't want to look at the world as it is. They don't want to recognize international law. They want it their way. Their make-believe, fiction section, fantasy book way. But that is not how the world works. It's not how I'll ever bring forward any narratives to the people of Canada, the first peoples ever. You will always get the world as it is. You will always get analysis of countries as they really are. Like I said, the governors here are tagged in those states mandated to redistribute the congressional mapping, meaning the sea of red is growing. You can't have a narrative that breaches the Constitution of the United States or breaches the division of powers under federalism for all 50 of those states. Democrats are learning large, at least in the political realm. You can't do what you say. You're much worse than Donald Trump. It's disgraceful to the United States of America. I'm going to say that again. The United States, plural. There's 50 of them. If you want to be a state in the United States of America, you best learn constitutionalism. You best learn what that means in real federalism. Because I can tell all Canadians right now, there is not one honest narrative going forward of ever becoming one of the states of the USA. You will be rejected, dejected over and over again. You can't match Canadian systems as they are today in any way, shape, or form legally with the United States of America. That's not how it works. Learn international law as it really is. There's much publication, even from American academics, credited, published. In fact, are professors teaching this stuff in all 50 states, right across the USA. If you can't be bothered to look at that, you believe in some kind of populism's going to get you there, and la schma, we don't have to worry about that. That's the way of the Canada politician. That's the way of the crown, the divine right. That doesn't exist in the United States of America. That's contrary, absolutely, to the United States of America. They even have strict treason laws against that crap. It's been abolished, absolutely, for more than 250 years. They have smashed, destroyed, and removed every statue and any reference to any divinity. Your honor, as it only is used, is all they use there. Or the judge plus last name. That's it in the United States. It doesn't matter where you go. Now in Canada, that's not the truth. Canada portrays that on the website. The honorable honor of the honors honorable. And they'll go and they have like 60 terms. Think of that as a reference, but when you physically look at how that term is used, you find Lord, worship, all the words outlawed in the United States, actually outlawed since 1945's UN Charter. That kind of system of governance, that deity of a politician, is outlawed worldwide. Crown customary law is contradictory to the UN. The way the Commonwealth and the royal family are operating in Canada are contrary to absolutely the UN Charter. The Commonwealth Charter 2012, regardless of Stephen Harper, Justin Trudeau, and every other politician you elect believes that they can enforce that. through fake courts like the International Commission of Jurists, all the other cockamamie international courts under provinces like the Human Rights Court of Ontario, the International. I'm sorry, but all of the international community will tell you there is no such thing as any region allowed to have any international court. Not a one. It's all a lie. Canadians fall for Reimer Folmick, local Canadian lunatics telling you about fake grand juries, fake courts. It is a slap in the face to the United States of America, the regions specifically of the United States of America. If you're a civil law socialist country, you, with the crown, you definitely don't have any grand jury. You definitely don't have any international court system, none whatsoever. There are two in this world. One is voluntary, the older. The later is imposed, the International Criminal Court. That's the truth. That's non-fiction section, those two courts, and then there's everybody else's baloney. The sad state of affairs today is that millions of Canadians, because of the Crown customary law embedded in our institution since 1867 and the 1982 edition, the Charter, the rest of it, is all just a scam. The Government of Canada, the provinces, are a scam. They've removed you from the International Court. They have the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, the first international court. You will find the P5 members are all there. Canada isn't. We left in 1993. Then we created our own fake courts. In 1985, the Conservatives under Brian Mulroney created a new criminal justice system, created the new Criminal Code 1985 in response to what the UNSC P5 were doing with South Africa. It was a con job. They knew that Russia and USA have no capacity in Crown customary law. Not since the death of King George VI. Teddy Roosevelt, Joseph Stalin, relied on King George VI's honor to get it all done, his word. And he did. He lived up to it. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at the time, Sir Winston Churchill, passed away in 1948. New Prime Minister came, a lot lost. King George VI died in 1952, and none of any of the royal family ever wanted to follow anything he promised to Russia and the United States of America. It was all lost with his death. Great travesties have occurred in this world, contrary to the UN Charter 1945, basically contrary to the allies of World War II. Canadians, take your time to absorb this. This video should be shared. People should talk about it. If you don't and are not willing to share and look at the truth as it really is, you're not really an ally. You're on the other side, which makes you an Axis power. You can ignore it. You can say, no, I don't want to hear it. It's not true. It's not true. The reality is, it is true. Everything in this video is true. The governors and the mandates from the Supreme Court are true. It's happening. It's already happened in Tennessee today. Go check it out. It's going to go for the other three. They're not going to be swing states anymore. People, wake up. Wake up to the truth. Because as long as Canada remains a baloney federalist system, as long as we keep the crown alive, more and more Canadians are going to be thrown into poverty. We will end up like in Iran. We will end up like a Venezuela. It will happen. It will happen. If you allow the government to continue in full autocracy, no rules of governance, how to govern, and absolutely no accountability, which is every province and territory in their division of powers, you get what you get because you've left yourself open to it. It's not a country you want to be proud of. That is a fact. That is a fact. There are huge problems in this country today. It all goes back to the crown. You have one dictator you elect, and they run this country in absolutism. It's the illusion of democracy. The House, the legislatures, all for show. Because if the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor General are not happy with how that's crafted, meaning the Prime Minister isn't happy, it don't go through. And you can look at your history. They're all in on the take. They all capitulate. Look how rich all your premiers get. Look how rich they are. Look at the Trudeau Foundation. Look how much wealth that man has. A drama teacher, his father a lowlife, degenerate. Canadians. It won't change with Conservative. It wouldn't change with NDP. It won't change with any of them. All you have to do is look at the provinces. They're all working for Trudeau. No problem. Let me fill up my back pocket. Let me rape, pillage, plunder, and even murder Canadians if I need to. Children, men, women, don't matter. They've done it to homosexuals. They've done it to the deaf. They've done it to the mental handicapped. They've been doing it to the First Peoples for the longest running genocide known to man. They're still doing it in division of powers through the provinces. Zero accountability. They're not represented in international law. They quit. They've created their own fake courts. No different than Reimer, Mick. No different than Alberta's crazy nut job that people just run to. Because why wouldn't they run to it? Canadian government, provincial governments, they've created all these fake courts. They're outside the UN. We're rogue in the UN. We teach Canadians to hate the United Nations, but it's actually Canada who leads the NWO inside the United Nations through the Commonwealth. We do that. We're number 3. Such a small country, vast resources. Most of our country is not settled, not like USA or Russia. They're fully seated. They're fully seated. All the citizens of USA and Russia have access to all their land. You can even buy land in Siberia. Whether you want to or not, at least it's available. Take this truth, share it. It's important. You have to educate your fellow Canadian. Americans are going to wake up to this reality. The Democrats are already screaming, oh, it's racism. We're locking out small ethnic communities. The reality is that is not the process. It is the redistribution of city-state power, which is unconstitutional in the United States of America. Had Donald Trump listened to smart party insiders, his administration, when he had lost the election, he should have took a tip from the late, great Richard Nixon. He should have said, the people have spoken. I will never, ever attack the institution of the United States of America because it's the greatest one in the world. And it's true. And the Supreme Court lived up to what they said. The states have lived up to the truth of it. And even those who don't want to now have to redraw their boundaries. It all comes out in the United States. They have an institution called We the People, the soul of the nation. Check it out. It would be great to have. We don't have anything that in Canada. I don't have a soul of my nation. When I read it, I give all that away to a foreign land, a foreign ruler. If you haven't read and watched all the great publications, live videos of said Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, even John Fitzgerald Kennedy, I don't know what to tell you. The greatest movement of civil rights from the 60s through the 70s, the monumental works done, overshadowed by Watergate and a president being assassinated so that no one would ever really look at how the institution really runs. It still ran. The works, the great works these men and women did of the time are there. The strength of the institution, the soul of a nation. It's all there for you. The history, the truth, all of it. You can find it. You can find the wisdom of international law as it really is. The USA and their regionalism through their federalism as it really is. That's the great strength of America. It's nothing like Canada. Canada never works out right. because it's divine, it's a deity of a small first class who continue to take more and more in the upside down pyramid, while you all get the crap of a real pyramid. We will give you all the abuse, all the bills. We will steal from you and your children. We will rape, pillage, plunder, even murder your children if we deem it necessary. When do Canadians say stop? This convoy is just a flashlight shining the same age-old problem with Canada, that at any given day of the week, your government is capable of usurping all human rights, absolutely destroying all international narratives of law, and going forward as monsters. And that's what they are, monsters. Again, thank you. Share the video. Get it out there. It's important. Bye now.